Welcome back to Past Gas, everybody. This one is a good one. We're talking about Bill, the lead slinger Hines. Honestly, one of the most influential people that we've maybe ever talked about on the show, but nobody knows his name.
Probably have never heard of him, but he innovated so much. He melted lead, he made custom work, he chopped roofs, he installed some of the first hydraulics and got them to be mainstream.
Bill worked on many cars that helped launch the car scene down here in Southern California and thus influenced like the rest of car culture overall. Through his work, he helped like create Lowriders. That's a pretty big deal. Also got into a little tiff with a guy named George Barris.
And that guy Johnny too.
And this guy Johnny. That guy sucks. So find out who all these people are. It's Bill Hines. Let's get into it. Summer of 1955 in the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. A modest garage with clients' cars lined up on the street, waiting for custom bodywork. Inside this garage, a small-statured man with a cigar hanging out of his mouth. He's cutting steel, melting lead beads and shaping them to create his unique brand of custom cars, renowned moving pieces of art known for winning at shows. The man's name was Bill the Lead Slinger Hines. Bill Hines is regarded as one of the greatest car customizers of all time. He traveled across the country with his cars and worked with so many different names in the car community. Hines is known as the Forrest Gump of custom cars. Not only was Bill an exceptional and artistic metal fabricator, he was also a skilled painter and one of the earliest people to install lowrider hydraulics in a car, earning him the nickname of the Godfather of hydraulics. Hines achieved so much in his lifetime, working on thousands of cars even from sunup to sundown well into his 90s, always with a signature cigar in his mouth. So, how did Bill get his start? Who gave him the nickname Lead Slinger? And how did he become a custom car icon? Today on Past Gas, it's Bill, the Lead Slinger Hines.
Slinging lead, baby.
It's a Spider-Man villain, pretty much.
Lead Slinger?
Yeah.
Your days are numbered, web slinger. I'm the lead slinger. And that's like a 6th episode of the 7th season of Amazing Spider-Man.
They've
where
ran out of ideas for villains.
Oh, you can hear him coming. His big lead shoes.
He's really slow.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually shoot lead. He just has big lead shoes that he swings around.
Nolan, welcome back, dude.
Hey.
You haven't been here for a while.
Hello, guys.
Noticed a new ring on your finger.
That's right.
Oh,
right there.
Whoa.
That's how married guys give the finger.
Yeah.
That's a sweet looking piece of bling.
Thanks, dude. It's let's see, it's brushed.
Nice.
It's got a machine edge on it.
Any engraving on the inside?
Yes. But that's secret.
Okay.
Secret.
That's good. Keep it secret.
Yeah, that's all good.
What if it was just like the famous Stars and Straps logo? Oh, thanks, babe. That'd be amazing.
It's the coordinates to dry land.
Oh. Cool. All right.
Nolan hasn't been in here in this room for 4 weeks now.
It's been a while. Yeah. So we recorded Big 3 earlier this week, but if you didn't listen to that, let's see. I went to Germany. Then we were recording High Low on a Monday morning. Then the week after that, I got married. And then last week, we recorded High Low again. We shot that again on a Monday morning. So it feels good to be back.
Yeah,
schedule.
Good to have you back, man.
Dude, it has been a very...
It's been a movie, dude.
It's been a movie. It's a whole franchise this year for me, dude. It's been so busy this year. Craziest year ever. We forgot to mention this on Big 3.
What?
Going to Mexico on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
For
the
Nora
500.
Crazy.
So maybe by the time this episode comes out, maybe that video will have come out.
Are you excited?
I am excited. Last week we had a couple like Zoom drivers meetings, learned how to like use the map that they give us. And then we had a drivers meeting just about like the logistics and how everything is going to go down.
Nice.
And I've been to Mexico like twice, but for a cruise, and like we were there for like a couple hours, and then
That's not the real Mexico.
No. Well, I don't know. I'm excited to see like the country on like the back roads, these dirt roads.
Sweet.
Ensenada is so fun. It is. I mean, that's where you're starting.
Yeah, we're going.
Right?
We are starting in, I believe, Ensenada, and then I could actually pull it up right here.
Oh, he's got the map on hand. Have you been memorizing it?
No. There's no way you'd.
No way.
No, there's no way you'd be able to.
Corner 200.
Slight right.
Remember that one, Nolan.
let's see. So we start in Santo Tomas, and then we go all the way down to Vicente Guerrero.
Oh, nice.
And then we go back up. So
it's a big loop.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you go back Ensenada.
You're doing a loop.
Yeah, basically a loop.
Yeah.
I think on the way down, we're more inland through like mountain roads.
That makes sense.
That'll be crazy.
Yeah.
And then the way back up, most of it will be on the beach.
That's really cool.
So
Holy
sick,
shit.
That'll be
dude.
cool. So, after last year when I came back from doing Bonneville, like that was like a very transformative experience, I think.
Yeah.
You talked about it for so long. Now you want to live it.
It is kind of like a dream come true for sure. I remember we mentioned this in the first Ranger video where we just had the stock truck and just jumped that all over the place. But I mean, growing up in SoCal, it is, especially in the 90s and early 2000s, like Baja was like super popular. I don't know about popular in the pop culture, but like
everyone's got a Ford Ranger.
Everyone had the Ford Ranger, especially being in SoCal specifically, like Ford Ranger, that was like a total like phenomenon, and desert racing inspired all that. And just like watching, I remember watching like one of those Here Comes a Truck videos or something. I forget which one, but it had, I think Ivan Stewart was in one of those videos showing off his Toyota trophy truck.
Cousin of Little Stewart, right?
Yeah, Stuart Little.
Yeah.
Almost, Jimmy.
That was pretty good. But man, ever since watching that, like as a kid, like, damn, I want to try something like that. But it's going to be pretty serious, dude. Like,
dude, I'm going to be
looking at the route. Like, we're going through like these.
I'm scared for you.
These ranches that have like never allowed people to like race on them. And there's this like, big dirt roads with huge whoops and like washouts, and like
you got to watch out for beer being thrown at you.
Got to watch out for like
there's like video of like locals just throwing beers at trucks.
Oh man.
Got to watch out for cattle. Got to watch out for local traffic.
Coyotes.
Maybe coyotes. I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah, I'm a bit anxious.
I'm really stoked for you.
Yeah,
I am a little jealous. I'm not going.
I know. It's a bummer.
But next year.
Well,
I really want to start doing. I really want to do off-road racing.
We're gonna have that truck, and
I want to get some hours.
It's just gonna be collecting dust.
Yeah,
unless we're racing it.
Well, we got to go from collecting dust to collecting dust.
I thought you were gonna say making dust.
Making dust.
That's a good one.
Good
T-shirt. Write that down.
I'm going to Atlanta this weekend for Petit Le Mans, which is sick. I'm super excited.
International. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, international. U.S. and Mexico. Yeah. We're going with Tristan. We're gonna get some cool race content for you guys. We're gonna interview Felipe Nasser.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're hanging out with the Porsche IMSA GTD.
Yeah.
That'll be
class.
really cool.
I wasn't aware that he was racing in IMSA. That's cool. Oh, he's in an LMP car then, or like the
I think
prototype?
he's in the GTD Pro class.
GTD Pro.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder who he drives for.
Porsche.
Oh, for Porsche.
Yeah. I mean, on the Baja trip, you're gonna need some snacks in your car, right?
Yeah. Actually, they do recommend that we tape some, like, literally duct tape protein bars to the doors so we can eat while we're driving. Yeah.
Well, I don't have any protein bars for you today, but I do have a snack that we briefly mentioned last week.
Oh.
In the customs episode.
Oh, I'm sorry. One sec. My name's Nolan Sykes. Jimmy's across from me.
Hi.
Joe G. Weber. Okay.
Yo.
Welcome back to the show. So, sorry, your snacks.
Snacks. If you open up the bottom drawer on the donut toolbox, there's some snacks, road trip snacks that we should.
Whoa! Ooh, what do we got here?
These are Goo Goo clusters.
Goo Goo
clusters. Okay. Looks like that one says peanut butter on it. This is the original.
Yeah.
Peanut, caramel, and nougat covered in milk chocolate. Goo Goo Cluster. Is this a regional snack? Where's this from, Joe?
I just had to look it up. It's not regional. It's
very interesting.
It's from
look.
It's from 1914 though.
Really?
1912.
Since
this
1912.
Nashville.
It says Nashville. It says
it's been around since 1912.
Okay.
Brought to you by Standard Candy Company in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Visit us at googoo.com.
That's their slogan is say Goo Goo for candy.
All right.
That's a good slogan.
Some nutritional facts. This thing's 210 calories. We got
Not too bad.
4 grams of protein.
Probably from the peanuts.
It's not telling me the sugar content. Oh, 19 grams of sugar.
How to enjoy. Tear open. Place in mouth. chew carefully.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's actual instructions.
Should I just bite this? Are we,
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take a bite too. So if you wanted to
I'll
rip
break
it,
off a piece of that goo
too late
bar.
for Jimmy.
I got clean.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
A little messy.
A little crumbly.
Yeah.
Peanut butter is dry.
Yeah. I don't think it's like, it's really good though.
This one I think I'm gonna like more. It says caramel in it.
Caramel. Okay. Ooh.
So
Look at this. Where's my camera?
ooh.
Pull apart.
Oh.
Pull apart caramel layer.
So for anyone listening on audio, first of all, sorry for the chomping noises, but it's kind of like a moon pie shape. Nougat, caramel,
I'm good
and
with
nuts,
I'm
and
good.
chocolate.
I was gonna say I like the peanut butter more.
I think I like the peanut butter more. That one's a little messy.
It is a bit messy. Do you want the rest of this, Joe?
No.
Okay, I'll finish it off. It's pretty good. The peanut butter is definitely a superior
Yeah, the
option.
peanut butter is way superior.
Even though it is like a brick of peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
Little messy.
A little messy.
That's kind of the only downside.
I think it's gonna melt too in your car.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's
You got the sun beating down and
yeah. Unless
Yeah,
it's
eat it
right in
quick.
front of the AC.
yeah.
Throw it in an ice box though.
Oh
Gets a little hard. You might break a tooth.
yeah, probably.
Some people just know that they can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Just like we check the weather first before going out to the track, we put a lot of work into these cars. We don't want to be sliding around in the wet just to nullify any gains we have made. Checking first is smart, so check with Allstate first and see how much you could save on car insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate. Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is for me, like a once every 6 years snack. Like I'm not going to crave it. It's pretty good. The chocolate, it seems like candy nowadays, they've really figured things out. This feels like an old timey
I like that.
recipe where it's like, oh, chocolate's kind of like primitive.
Grandma made this.
Yeah. Gotta get your Google cluster.
Oh, Jimpy. Don't get your Google cluster.
I feel like I do have a bunch of shit in my teeth though.
Yeah.
I got crumbs.
So messy. It also, chocolate would melt on your fingers if you're driving.
Yeah.
It is dessert. It's not something you would want to snack on like a food.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to give it it's just average. It's a 5 for
I'll give
me.
it a 6.
I'm
Okay.
gonna say I really, really enjoyed the peanut butter one. I wish I could eat more of that one.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm not gonna hold that against it as a road trip snack. I think it's a great snack overall, but definitely go out and get one.
Yeah. Enjoy
But
it.
road trip wise, I'm gonna. What's our out of 5?
I thought it was out of 10.
Out of 10?
It's out of 10, and you
I'm gonna
got
go ahead and give it a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's still an excellent snack.
Yeah.
It'd be a good gaming snack.
Yeah, maybe they need a caffeine component.
Yeah.
Mom. Google cluster, mom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the name is interesting, but
It's very old timey name.
very Goo Goo Cluster.
My girlfriend would definitely be like, "What did you just say to me?"
Yeah.
If I said, "You want to pull over and get some Goo Goo clusters?"
A bushel of Goo Goo clusters.
That's pretty good. I love that peanut butter one. Okay.
6, 5, 4.
Yeah.
Evens out middle of the road.
Yeah.
Road trip snack.
Yeah. I still don't think we found the
Beef
ultimate
jerky
one.
is the ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about a guy called Bill Hines. William Chandler Hines. First Chandler on the show, I think.
Dang.
Was born in Erie, Pennsylvania in 1922. Bill was born with a spinal disability, leaving him to crawl while other kids were running around playing. Eventually, Bill was sent to a medical facility called the Sun Camp, where he was strapped to a board for most of the day in an attempt to straighten his back out. Doctors also removed 2 vertebrae, which helped him become more mobile.
That's how they did it back then.
That's insane. How do you remove vertebrae?
I know. I was just thinking about that. You can't just pop it off.
That's a crazy
Lego.
surgery.
And this is like
1920s.
This is
the
1930.
20s.
Yeah.
What the hell?
If he must have been what, 10?
That's insane, dude. Okay. By the 1930s, the Hines family had moved from Pennsylvania to Detroit, Michigan, or Detroit, as the French called it. Bill, showing an interest in fabrication, signed up for shop and art classes in school, and at age 14, he built his own motor scooter.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
In 1941, Bill quit high school to open his own garage, customizing cars in the downriver area of Detroit. We'll stop doing that. During this era, Bill got into hot rods, building a 1934 Ford that he would regularly street race. Around 1943, Bill customized a Buick convertible that he had bought, molding the bodywork, cutting the doors down to resemble a coach-built car, and adding a large fin in the center of the trunk lid. At this time, automakers had not started using fins in their designs, which made Bill's handiwork well ahead of its time. Cadillac, known for their tail fins, wouldn't even start to use those until 1948.
If you want to learn more about Cadillac and the history of that brand, we did a 2-part series a couple weeks ago on it where we talk about Detroit. It's really interesting. Give it a listen.
In the late 1940s, Bill and a friend rode from Michigan all the way to California on a Harley-Davidson motorcycle with a sidecar. Dude, that's kind of fun.
That's cool.
That's sick. In the post-war era, too,
Do you
everyone's
think they were
feeling
switching
good.
roles with who was riding and who was sitting in the
Probably,
sidecar?
yeah.
No, if I remember correctly, it was just Bill sitting in the sidecar the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
his friend was riding.
In total, they spent less than $10 on gas for the whole
Holy
trip.
shit.
Bill stayed in L.A. for a short while, absorbing the car culture and comparing it to the one back in Detroit. Then he headed back home. While riding back to Detroit in his friend's sidecar, the sun in the desert was so intense that Bill got blisters on his forehead from sunburn. So he decided to take the bus the rest of the way. You're getting on that bus, you sit next to Bill, he's just got blisters all over his head.
Where have you been?
It was all red.
I was in a sidecar.
Yeah, you got a Google cluster?
You mind if we pull over and get some Google clusters?
Hey, bus driver.
When Bill got back to Detroit, he opened up a small shop to work on cars using the inspiration he got from his California trip. This is where Bill started to really experiment with lead body customizations.
How long do you think that trip was to California?
On a bus?
No, well, he did the bike first. So he went from Detroit to California
4 days?
on a motorcycle back then.
5 or 6 days, probably.
Yeah.
They're probably taking their time, too. Dude, it's post-war U.S. Everyone's in a great mood. The vibes are good. You're in a motorcycle. You're rolling into town.
Yeah, U.S. has half the world's wealth.
Yeah, you're just going from town to town looking for some goo-goo clusters.
Dude, probably was like a 3-week trip there and then probably 2-week trip back. With the
That sounds
bus.
really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop at the Grand Tetons.
$10 for gas.
I really want to find time to take like a month-long trip.
I want to do that.
Should.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen most of the United States.
Oh, man.
I know. What's the furthest east you've been? Colorado?
Technically, it's Bradenton, Florida.
Okay, it's pretty far
okay.
east.
But like, I haven't seen the Atlantic.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. You need to go up to New York, dude.
Yeah.
New York
I want to
City's
do
sick.
that. I want to go to Georgia. I want to go to all those. I want to go to Maine.
I've only been to Atlanta, but that area is sick.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, even when we went to Nashville over in North Carolina, Greenville, not Asheville.
Yeah.
We went to Greenville. It was like, just nice seeing.
I really want to go to New Orleans.
Country over there.
And like
Yeah.
Louisiana.
You know, in New York, they don't have goo-goo clusters. They have gaba goo-goo clusters.
My favorite.
Nice.
Now that's a road trip snack I can get behind.
It's meat and chocolate.
Sign me up.
So, throughout the early 1950s, Bill's clientele started to grow because of his unique work and his newly found acquaintance with members of the downriver hot rod scene. Word of Bill's custom work spread like wildfire, and soon enough, his shop got so busy they had to have a wait list.
Downriver hot rod scene seems like an Instagram like felt cap company.
yeah, for real. Are cut and sewn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this was
For the guy who likes to get outside.
Yeah.
Downriver
So-
hot rod.
You might have heard us mention lead bodywork, lead customizations. Now, let's explain what we mean by that. Before Bondo, customizers in the 1940s and 50s used molten lead filler to smooth out surfaces on a car's body, which would then get painted over. So Bill was an artist when it came to sculpting and molding custom bodywork with lead and sheet metal. This is where the name Leadsleds comes from and how Bill earned the nickname the Lead Slinger.
So lead is a very soft metal. It's easy to work with, but it's super toxic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you can melt. Yeah, like it's almost like soldering almost.
So if you look at
sort
that,
of.
like lead hammer we have that we use for
Oh,
the
yeah.
lowrider, like that's you can see it's so soft that you can see all the edging. And
Yeah.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know what Bondo is, it's like a I don't even know.
Emulsification.
It's like
A putty.
a put. Yeah, sort of like a putty. It's like a pretty thin, but you can like, if you have two pieces of metal joined and there's like obviously, or I mean, you wouldn't want a crease in between those. That means you did a pretty shit job putting them together. But like,
If you have a dent that you want
you
covered.
have a dent that you just can't quite get out, or like really small dents. Now you've seen people fill big dents with Bondo. That's a problem. You don't want that. But
Dude,
like,
me and
if you're
Rob-
trying to smooth out a body panel as much as possible, but just can't get that like final 5% of a divot out, that's where you'd use Bondo to fill that in and then smooth it over and match the existing body line. But that didn't come around for a while, so they're using lead to do this kind of stuff.
In the early 1950s, Bill was earning a reputation as a premier custom builder in the Detroit area, and one of the more famous builds that came out of his Detroit shop was Marty Ribbitt's 1934 Ford Golden Nugget.
Whoa.
Marty Ribbit.
This thing looks
Marty
sweet.
Ribbit. He looks like a frog.
Why do you call him that?
He's related to Kermit.
He's got no neck. He's got a real wide mouth.
Loves to jump.
I love hot rock.
Is that your Kermit?
Yeah.
Hey Piggy.
Want to go for a ride in my hot rod?
Okay.
It's a real lead slinger.
This
All right.
34 Ford was part custom, part hot rod. It had incredible fender modifications. The windshield was chopped, and it was painted in a brilliant gold color by Hines. The Golden Nugget took home the Best Custom Award at the 53 Detroit Autorama, further legitimizing Hines as a custom car builder.
I don't think I've seen that car. Like, this is pretty cool.
Pretty sick. It's
Yeah.
It
pretty
is sick.
If you audio listeners at home, just imagine a golden hot rod. It looks exactly what you think it is going to look like.
Well, okay. I mean, for you Ford heads, you hot custom heads out
Yeah.
there. Yeah, the side profile is very 34 Ford. I mean, it's got like the fender covers on the rear, but then has more of like really flowy fenders on the front. I don't know. That's just a cool design.
It's
I like it.
soft
tasteful.
top. Yeah,
It's
it's
very tasteful.
nice.
Wheels are big on it.
Suicide doors.
big old wheels. In the mid-50s, Bill opened up a new shop in Southfield, Michigan, and started working on his personal custom dubbed the Bat.
Ooh.
The Bat started out as an average 1950 Ford, but after Bill was done with it, it looked out of this world. This car had a heavily chopped roof. It was lowered, and it had fins that resembled bat wings.
This thing is sick.
I like
Very
it.
cool.
This thing looks like it's straight out of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I love it.
Yeah, it's a little goofy.
This is like
but
a shoebox Ford, as it were, with fins. Very cool.
yeah. This car helped Bill land the cover of Rod and Custom magazine and helped put him on the map. In 1958, Bill and his family decided to make the move to Southern California. They landed in a town called Linwood, which is close to Barris Customs.
Also, where Weird Al is from.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
We did an episode on George Barris. This kind of paints him in a different light, though. He's kind of like not a shady businessman, but like someone who will do anything to propel his business to the top and stop other people from
Yeah.
coming at him.
In the last episode, when like a guy would go and be like, "Hey, can you like teach me about your paint technique?
He's like, buzz off,
Get
kid.
out of here."
Yeah.
Don't like that.
It is annoying having kids come around saying, teach me your craft. Right? Doesn't that happen to you all the time?
Mhm.
No.
I'm just
How
Does
do
that
you
happen to you?
Yeah, people come up to me and is like, "How do you make your face look so weird on thumbnails?" I said, "Well, kid,
You just
It's all in the jaw, really.
Yeah. Just unhook your jaw like a snake.
I do a lot of mewing exercises.
If you remember from last episode, Barris Customs was world renowned at the time. Run by George and Sam Barris, they built cars for the stars, including famous custom cars like the Hirohata Merc. It was one of the first custom with a K cars. Bill walked into the Barris shop and talked to the shop supervisor since George Barris was out of town on the road showing his cars. The supervisor was impressed with Hines' work on the Bat and hired him to start the next week at the shop.
Working at the Barris shop alongside Bill were two young kids right out of high school. You had Junior Conway and Larry Watson, both of whom went on to be very influential painters in the scene. While at Barris' shop, Bill did custom work on some very famous cars like Dean Jeffries Porsche 356.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Let's take a look at this.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
weird
I like
looking.
that.
This is
Love that.
This is from the Cars universe.
Yeah. Then you had Dave Cunningham's 1940 Ford. Nice, very classy Ford
Love
there.
that Porsche.
And of course, you had Larry Watson's 1958 Thunderbird. Oh, I've seen this car before. This is sick.
yeah, that one's a
Yeah.
pretty famous one.
You seen it in real life?
No, just like in Hot Rod magazine, I think.
Oh yeah.
Bill worked at the Barris shop for only a few months before getting homesick and deciding California wasn't for him. He said, "There's too many guys wearing cut and sewn hats and chore shirts."
The smoothies are $19.
Yeah.
There's just too many air
Yeah.
ones.
There's a lot of, yep. He parted ways with Barris and went back to Detroit to customize cars once again. In 1959, he became one of the first people to customize a brand new 1959 Chevy Impala. This car was named the X-Cidian. It had radical teardrop lights, molded side exhaust, and a brilliant candy apple red paint job. This car is believed to be the first ever candy paint job done in Michigan. Bill then taught local car customizers, the Alexander brothers, how to paint candy colors. The brothers took it and ran with it, creating some of the most iconic candy paint jobs ever.
Dude, the taillights on this thing are
Yeah.
insane.
Wow.
It looks like a villain's like eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like Black Manta from Aquaman.
That's
It
what I was
does.
thinking about.
The trunk is like 7 feet long.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty standard for these cars. This is a coupe, too, the
Yeah.
two-door, so it's going to have a long-ass trunk. In the beginning of 1960, Bill decided to make the move to California again, and this time it was for good. So he packed up his tools, told his customers he was moving, and prepared his family to make the 2,000-mile journey across the country. This time, though, with the Harley with like 5 sidecars.
That's not a solution. You're still going to get sunburned.
This time, Bill was more confident due to the connections he had made while working for Barris. This would be the last time that Bill customized cars in Detroit, but a new chapter in his long career was about to begin.
Imagine driving through the desert in one of those like bubble top custom
Oh,
cars,
God, yeah.
and it's just a magnifying glass on your head. Yeah, that'd be insane.
You would get a big sunburn.
Yeah. In 1960, before Bill and his family made the final move to California, he sold his beloved custom Ford, the Bat, and purchased a used 1954 Buick. Bill towed a homemade trailer filled with tools behind the Buick. The combined weight of the tools in the trailer proved to be too much for his car, and his brakes went out while going over a mountain pass.
I mean, those
Oh.
drum brakes back then, not really made for that.
Yeah.
No. Thankfully, he made it through the pass unscathed, with no incident happening, but it was probably scary.
It's probably going to Colorado when that happened.
My family had an Astrovan when I was a kid.
Mhm.
We took multiple like 6,000-mile road trips with
Wow.
the van just packed, and it had, it was like had a fold out bed and there's shades and stuff. It was really fun.
That's
And a lot of Goo Goo clusters.
We had a cooler filled with Goo Goo clusters so they didn't melt over our little child fingers.
That's sick.
No, but we were going over Pikes Peak, and we kept hearing this, like, every time we turned left, we heard, like, squeak, squeak, squeak,
Yeah.
squeak. We're like, what's going on? It's like the axle, what is squeaking? And so we went, like, got all the way over Pikes Peak. We went down the mountain, and then we got out, and we noticed a bubble on the tire,
Oh, shit.
like,
Yeah.
2 inches long,
Yeah.
and it was, like, thin enough that you could, like, see through it almost.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was ready to pop.
It was
Yeah.
ready to pop, and we were right on the edge of the mountain pass.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
my mom freaked out, and
Yeah.
she was like, "This is stupid." But anyways, we got a
And
new
you're like,
tire. And we
Chill
got-
out, Mom. Have a Goo Goo cluster.
Yeah,
Do you guys have a Nintendo in there?
there was, funny enough. I can't remember the company that made it into a conversion van,
Mm.
but they had put a little port underneath, or like on the sidewall of the driver's seat.
Yeah.
That said Nintendo 64 plug-in
Oh,
for
that's
some reason.
sick.
It had like, a 12-volt plug-in, and then also like AV.
Nice.
But we never
That's cool.
did it.
Playing Mario Kart on that?
Yeah.
Sick.
When Bill got to California, he went back to Barris to ask him about work, but Barris couldn't pay what Bill deemed an acceptable wage. So Bill opened up his own shop in Linwood to take on some extra work. When Barris found out about his shop,
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining you playing the classic Dreamcast game Seaman.
Oh, we talked about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think we talked about that last week.
Okay, that's
Because
weird.
It had a mic and you could like
Yeah,
tell him to do stuff.
Yeah.
And the fish had a man face.
yeah,
right?
yeah. I had like a dude's face. Anyway, sorry.
Weird
Yeah,
time.
sorry.
It's a Dreamcast game.
I can't believe you guys talked about that last time.
You did.
Dude, you missed
amazing.
out on a lot.
Oh.
Yeah. When Barris found out about Bill's shop, he was very upset and told Bill he would never make it. So Bill packed up and left Barris's shop for good.
You'll never make it, kid.
You'll never make it. Barris moved to North Hollywood to be closer to the celebrities who were getting their cars done by his shop, but Bill stayed in Linwood. This was mainly because his shop was located next to one of the best upholstery businesses in town, run by a talented upholsterer named Eddie Martinez. Bill and Eddie became great working partners. Bill would customize the car and roll it next door to get a hand-worked custom interior by Martinez.
Do you think he moved all the way to California just because of his upholstery? He's like, I gotta get out there again. That upholstery was
You're
so
talking about
good.
Bill or Eddie?
I mean, that could be
Bill.
I could see that being a
Yeah,
factor.
like
Yeah,
he moved
maybe.
back here because he was just like the work out there is phenomenal,
Yeah,
Yeah.
see that.
and
for
it was
sure.
just like I don't know, yeah, probably better work, and he was, I want that for my cars.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason that he kept coming out to Southern California.
Yeah.
It's like you have the auto manufacturers in Detroit, so you
Mhm.
have access to all the, OEM parts.
Mhm.
But that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to do custom work, so he went to the custom mecca. In early 1961, a young guy from Los Angeles named Tatsumi Tats Gotanda was eager to get custom work done on his 1959 Chevy Impala coupe.
What's your name? Tatsumi? That's hard to say. You're gonna go by Tats.
Yeah.
That's too hard. Tatsumi's sick.
I know, Tatsumi.
That's a great
yeah.
name.
Tats had heard about Bill and his custom shop, so he drove his Impala down to Linwood to see for himself. Bill agreed to customize the Impala with help from Eddie, and work began on what would become known as the Buddha Buggy.
The Buddha Buggy. Let's
This
go.
thing is
Such a
sick.
sick name.
Yeah.
Hines started chopping up the 1959 Impala for Tats. He gave it radical teardrop taillights and a sunken antenna. Then he coated it in a brilliant candy blue paint job with a pearl white base that made it look fluorescent in the sun. Eddie Martinez fitted the Impala with a pearl white custom interior with tuck and roll pleats. The final product was magnificent and won almost every car show it entered in 1961.
I can see why. This thing looks really sweet.
Tats, being competitive in nature, brought the Buddha Buggy back again to Bill in 1961 for more work. Bill added split bumpers. He molded the side pipes. He had a rear gravel pan center fang and rounded the doors and hood corners. The Buddha Buggy was becoming legendary in the scene thanks to some magazine features, and in turn, all this positive attention the car was getting was drumming up new business for Bill at his shop. It was a win-win.
Who built this thing? Who built it? Oh, there's a guy named Bill Hines.
The lead slinger. In 1962, Tats brought the Buddha Buggy back to Hines once again for even more custom work. This time, Bill added a Frenched antenna, which is when the antenna is sunken into the body of the car. He also fabbed up some small fender scoops in the front and repainted the car yet again in candy blue. While Tats was showing his car at the 1962 Winter Nationals, a guy named Johnny Taylor approached him and made some unsavory comments about his car.
As they do.
Johnny went on to win the sweepstakes trophy from that show in his custom 1958 Ford. Between this and the disparaging comments, Tats declared war on Johnny. The
Dude,
only
Johnny's car is pretty sick too.
All right, let's see, Johnny's
yeah, I can't
car.
lie. It's pretty cool.
All right.
I love the side pipes.
Yeah, it's cool.
That is really cool.
The only way to get back was to make his car better. Tats took his loss to Johnny Taylor and the disrespect very personally. He had so much of his creativity, time, and money invested into the Buddha Buggy. It was a huge blow to his ego. In 1962, winning a first-place trophy was a huge deal. It meant that you had the street cred of having the baddest custom car. The fact that Johnny had copied Tats' interior was just rubbing salt in the wound.
Oh.
This is getting heated.
Yeah.
This
So-
would be some Instagram beef nowadays.
I mean, check out his interior.
Tats brought his Impala back to Bill Hines yet again in 1962 and said, Uncle Willie, blow this car apart. We're going all out. I need to beat Johnny Taylor's Ford in the next show. And then Bill said, forgive me, master. I have to go all out just this once.
Bill is the master.
Tats revealed
I'm
this.
going full force.
Tats revealed this in a 2022 interview with the Japanese American Museum. So this time, Bill Hines went even further with the customizations, adding sunken scoops on the front fenders, had Buick Riviera-style scoops in the rear quarters, and finished it off with yet another signature candy blue paint job. This time with a metal flake roof.
Okay.
All right.
I was like, what, another candy blue job?
So this would have been enough for Tats to beat Johnny alone, but Bill Hines had a trick up his sleeve that would change everything. One that would literally elevate the whole build.
You see where we're going with this?
He's got an ace in his hole.
I tell you, that blue job's ace in my hole.
He added goo-goo clusters.
He added the cooler for the Goo Goo clusters.
Yeah. But then Johnny Taylor added a second cooler for goo-goo clusters.
Oh, no.
In the early 1960s, the hydraulics trend had just started appearing in the custom car scene. Ron Aguirre from Rialto, California, was making quite a buzz with his bubble-top 1956 Corvette called the X-Sonic.
Oh, this thing's sick. You wouldn't want to drive this in a desert.
No, this is the
oh my God,
magnifying
Dude,
glass.
that thing
What?
is so fucking sick.
This is
Yeah.
the first photo I've actually seen of this thing. I've heard a lot about
Oh, really?
this car. That is
Honestly,
insane
Yeah.
looking.
it's super cool.
This is a Jetsons mobile.
It
Yeah.
really is. That's so cool.
Elroy, don't press that button.
Bill Hines saw this Corvette and asked Ron to teach him how to install hydraulics, which Ron happily agreed to. Bill then applied what he had learned to Tats Impala. He used surplus WW2 aircraft parts for the hydraulic system that he bought from a store called Pally Supply. After the hydraulics were installed in the Buddha Buggy, Tats adapted a set of chromed Skylark wire wheels with thin white wall tires. Side note, these spoked Skylark wheels became the standard for lowriders, and the wheel that the 100-spoke Dayton's, the iconic lowrider
Oh.
wheel, were based off of.
Okay.
They were
Yeah.
ahead of the wheel estate game.
Eddie Martinez added his touch to the Buddha Buggy. An innovative custom interior complete with swivel bucket seats and a full bar in the back seat.
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
With the chrome, candy paint, lavish custom interior, and the hydraulics, the Buddha Buggy became a link of the customs to the 1950s to the lowriders of the 1960s. The prototype lowrider. With this new and improved version of the Buddha Buggy, Tats won every show he entered and beat his nemesis Johnny Taylor at the 1963 Trident's Car Show in Los Angeles. Tats brought home the coveted 7-foot-tall sweepstakes trophy, and over 1,000 people saw his car at the show. The Buddha Buggy Impala was now one of the most famous cars, not only in the Southern California car scene, but in all of America.
Oh, honey, I've come home with my trophy.
Where are we going to put that? We just had a baby.
7 feet tall. It's insane.
I don't even own anything that's, 6 feet or
Yeah.
more.
You don't have a Christmas tree?
Every year I do. You get a 7-footer?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Well,
got
actually, I need to
Halcyon.
get a new Christmas tree because my dog chewed the
Oh.
electrical cord for mine.
Oh, no. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, you do plastics.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't get a real Christmas tree. I'm sorry. I don't like the smell. Okay.
What?
What?
I don't like the smell.
Wow.
What?
I think it's because I didn't grow up with it. Because we didn't have Christmas trees in Australia.
Oh, yeah. You
They
guys
don't
had,
grow in
Christmas gum trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have, instead of reindeer, we have kangaroo.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's a
Kookaburras.
famous Christmas song called Six White Boomers, where it's about
Really?
kangaroos towing Santa Claus.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a
That's
joke.
awesome.
Yeah. It's a great song.
Yeah. I love that.
I showed it to Devin. She's like, what the is this?
It's not a reindeer. This is a reindeer.
That's a kangaroo. Anyway.
After Bill's hydraulic mastery went on display in the Buddha Buggy, people started to come to his shop to get their customs lifted by him. Bill took his education of hydraulics from Ron Aguirre to the next level and became the first shop in LA to cut cars for hydros. That's slang for
Yes.
putting hydraulics in a car.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The geographical location of Bill Hines' shop played a huge role in the development and evolution of lowrider hydraulics. Bill's shop in Linwood was one town over from Watts, where young African-American enthusiasts were building their own custom cars in the early 60s. Some of these young car enthusiasts got hip to Hines' shop and started bringing their cars to get lifts installed, and that's when business exploded for Bill. I mean, if you look at the map, Linwood is...
It's right next to Compton. And all
Yeah,
that
it's like north
area.
of Compton, south of Southgate.
Mhm.
Like it's, yeah, I mean, it's central LA, basically.
Yeah, it's prime position.
Yeah. So awesome.
There's a lot of industry in that area too.
For sure, that too.
But it's still going on today.
So even though Bill Hines was well known for building beautiful custom cars that won many awards, he never got the amount of publicity he really deserved. This was due to his friendly competitor, George Barris, and George's relationship with car magazines. George recognized Bill's immense talent and knew that if Bill got big articles in media press, it could hurt Barris's business. So Barris made sure that didn't happen.
There's room enough for
That's
everyone.
fucked up.
A perfect example of this was his 1963 Kustom Cars magazine, where the Buddha Buggy was on the cover, but George pulled some strings to make sure Bill's name was purposely left out of the article.
That's
That
whack, dude.
is
How does that happen?
that is so bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Bill not getting credit goes back to when he first worked for Barris in 1958. He fully customized Dean Jeffrey's 1956 Porsche 356 at the Barris shop, and when Dean's Porsche debuted in Rod and Custom in 1959, there was no mention of Bill at all.
Dude, come on.
Relationship with George Barris over.
Hines' business in Linwood was booming during the 60s and 70s. He had folks come from all over to get work done by him, including John Lennon, who had his Bentley painted by Hines. By the mid-1970s, Bill was almost exclusively working on lowriders, which had become very popular. Although the trends had changed, Bill never stopped customizing with lead. He would add molded side pipes and Frenched antennas to lowriders. Unfortunately, when the 105 Century Freeway was being built, they had to tear down Bill Hines' original shop in Linwood. He eventually moved his shop to Bellflower, where he continued to build custom cars using signature techniques of leading, lowering, and chopping. Definitely one of the coolest cars to come out of this Bellflower shop was his 41 Bat. Bill took a 1980s Buick Riviera and grafted a 41 Buick roof and trunk section to it. He added his signature fins and finished it in a candy apple red with a full Eddie Martinez interior, of course. So let's
This
take a
thing
look at this
looks
thing.
sweet. I love the chrome.
That's a car that Pruneface would drive in Dick Tracy.
By the early 2000s, Bill was still working every day in his shops. He had one shop in Bellflower and a small shop over in Long Beach, both packed with customer cars. By this time, his son Mike and grandsons Mitch and Matt were helping out with the custom projects. In 2003, Jesse James of West Coast Choppers enlisted Bill for his Discovery TV show Monster Garage to build an old-school style custom Chevy. This episode helped bring Bill the Lead Slinger Hines and his creations to a new generation of custom car enthusiasts. Even into his 90s, Bill was working on cars from sunup to sundown with a cigar in his mouth, melting lead, and creating custom rolling sculptures. Bill passed away in 2016 at 94 years old. His impact on the car world will live forever. Over the years, many disciples learned the trade from Bill, such as Dick Dean, the Alexander brothers, and Junior Conway. Despite not getting the press he deserved for his custom creations, Bill Hines left a lasting impact on the Southern California car scene that has spread to every car scene around the world. Dude,
What a great story.
I mean, just learning about this guy, all the cars that he did, and then like his contribution to lowrider culture,
Yeah.
like this might be one of the most influential guys that we've ever covered on the show.
And
I
it's
think.
sad that not that many people know his name.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
hopefully now you do. Bill Hines.
please
Yeah.
go out, tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Wow.
Say George Barris is an asshole. Bill Hines is cool.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, just think about that. His influence and everything. That's,
Also, think about his personal story. Like
Yeah.
1922, he's born. He like couldn't
Can't walk. He has 2 vertebrae removed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then-
goes on to do all this.
Mhm.
That is
Like literally
Really
melt lead for 70 years.
Yeah.
insane, dude. Wow. So, yeah, Bill Hines, the lead slinger. There's a story
Yeah.
written by Ross Ruiz, by the way, 46 to 64 on Instagram. He
Yeah,
helped us out
love
with
him.
the Miata Lowrider episode.
he
was
is a
in there.
walking
Ross
encyclopedia on
is so
custom
cool.
cars.
I love Ross.
Go follow 46 to 64
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Great
You
Instagram.
won't regret it. Great
Yeah.
follow.
He's awesome.
We have some listener mail this week. This is from Haley. Hi, Donut Media. My name is Haley, and I'm from Canberra, Australia.
Oh,
Canberra.
She knows
Edinburgh.
Six Good Roberts or whatever the song's called.
What's
it called?
Which one?
Six white.
6 White Boomers.
The Six White Boomers. She knows that song.
My name is Haley, and I'm from Canberra, Australia. I'm
Canberra?
a big fan of past guests and would like to thank you for all the laughs through some pretty late nights at work and for helping me understand F1 and all the great racers my boyfriend talks about. You guys mentioned the Skyline R31 in the Nissan GTR episodes. I was curious and looked them up, and now I own one.
Hey,
Hey, congratulations.
Congrats.
dude.
I just want to say thank you for helping me open up and expanding my passion. Hell yeah, Haley. Thank you.
Heck yeah,
Sick.
that's awesome. There was a sick R31 for sale in Bring a Trailer a couple weeks ago. Jimmy, I sent it to you.
Yes, it was very cool.
Oh my god! If I had just one more space, bro. Just one more
Just
space.
one more space.
That's all I need is one more parking space.
That's
I
what
mean, that thing was so.
I tell that to
fucking
myself
cool.
every day.
So
One more
cool.
space.
So have fun with that, Haley. If you'd like to hit us up, passgas@donutmedia.com. We'd love to read your email and how we are helping you descend into car madness. Joe G. Weber on Instagram. RussellJimmy.jp. Nolan J. Sykes. That's me. Follow us on Instagram, all that good stuff. Big thanks to our crew this week. We got Audrey Holden, Edgar Grajeda, and Shin Lewis. Shin
Nice.
Lewis.
And
Hold that one.
thanks to Ross Ruiz for writing this.
Again, follow Ross on Instagram.
Look him up.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.
Boy.